Hey everybody, it's Bintel again. So I wanted to tell you folks why we have to do this, right? Why we can't let this rest. And exciting, I want to tell you guys why disruptive innovations are so feared by CEOs throughout the world. CEOs that make on average probably $8 to $10 million a year now sit in their office terrified that some kid from some Ivy League school, because that's the only place they teach them, is going to come up with some new idea for a disruptor that's going to burn down their entire industry and rebuild a whole new one in its place, making themselves a billionaire and even a trillionaire, and put them out of work. That is the one thing they are terrified. In fact, they hire their engineers to make disruptors to protect them from these young kids, all right? So disruptors are the most powerful, I've discussed this before, most powerful technology in the world, turn engineers into billionaires. They're like, a disruptor is like a mosquito that can sting an elephant and kill it. They kill Fortune 500 companies, like some mom and pop shop that can kill Target or that can kill IBM. All right, so the way they do this is, I'm going to use Rolls-Royce as an example. Rolls-Royce is out there selling its $500 million cars to a very small group of very wealthy people that can afford to buy two of them. No problem, give me the latest two. These people have money to burn, right? Rolls-Royce executives are living fat. Their sales are up, they're skyrocketing. They don't have to do anything. People just call and place the orders. They don't have to do any sales. It's like Rolex. You go to buy a Rolex, Rolex is not going to ship you the Rolex in 2 weeks because you want it on rush. Rolex is like, if you don't wait 6 months, you don't get the Rolex. All right, that's how these large companies are, right? Well, some kid comes up with an idea where they can give the whole world, all the people who can't afford a Rolex or a Rolls Royce, some kid comes up with an idea where now everybody can get a Rolex, right? So now some kid comes up with an idea where they can make a Rolls Royce Bentley coupe for the price of a used Toyota. And by the time Rolls Royce, big company, big slow company, making a whole lot of money, fat rat, not even thinking, by the time they turn around and realize that some kid is taking all their customers, it's too late. All their blood is out. They bled out, right? And now they can't turn around and make their Rolls Royce and say, hey, we got a cheap Rolls Royce too. They can't do that. It's over for them, all right? This is your opportunity to destroy a company that you would think is larger than life with an idea for a disruptor. You, in your basement, whether you're in South Central Los Angeles or Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn, you can become the next titan of industry if you focus on this. All right, so it levels the playing field. The most dangerous technology in the world. The reason why people want to get rid of TikTok is because if you go to the founder of TikTok, you research the founder of TikTok, which I've already done, and go look at the college that he went to. Right on the home page it says teaching disruption since 1865 or something. I don't remember the year. All right, so they've been teaching disruption at this school. I think it's in London, longer than the people that teach it in America, which is the Harvards and the Yales and the Dartmouths, all right? Those kids are the ones, the engineers that they program and indoctrinate to make these disruptors. The rest of the world has no idea. Now the reason this is so infuriating to me is because my poor parents send me to school hoping that Northeastern, a school that I probably couldn't even have gotten into, you've heard the stories, barely got into, was going to give me the keys to the castle so I could save my family, so my mother hold me up, are you the one that's going to save our family? And they shortchanged me. So I'm pissed, right? More than that, had I known what disruptors are, right? Had I known what, and then on top of that, if you look here, you see this diagram, the unicorn is called a unicorn company because unicorns are full of disruptors like Tesla and Uber and Amazon. Amazon is going to shut half of the malls. Going to be no more malls in the next 10 years. Half of them are gone. All right? It's disrupting the brick and mortar mall go out to shopping in the mall and buy. Nobody wants to do it anymore. We're just going to order on Amazon. Comes here in 2 days. Disruptor. Jeff Bezos or Jim Bezos, whatever his name is, trillionaire, billionaire. All right. Uber disrupted the cab market. You're black, you can't get a cab. Put the Uber app on your phone. You don't have to deal with that pain anymore. You seen any cabs in New York lately? All right. Tesla destroying the car market. All right, up and down. Now he's Heiling Hitler next to Donald Trump. All right, that's how much money these guys make. That's how lucrative this is. Had I known this before I even went to college, say, had I known this in junior high school, or even in elementary school, had I gotten wind of it like I do. I go into the schools and I tell these elementary school kids, they go crazy. They don't want to do anything else. I would have made completely different decisions about everything in my life. I wouldn't have gone to any clubs. My best friend in college, Ignacio St. Rose, who was far more talented, smarter than me, he wouldn't be dead now. We wouldn't have been at that party at MIT and gotten stabbed. I wouldn't have gone to any industry parties. I wouldn't have talked to any of the little hood rat girls that I chased around in clubs. I would have had no words for any of them. My friend Ignacio, he'd be standing right here beside me right now had someone told me this back when I was in junior high school and high school. I would have made completely different decisions. I wouldn't have spent all of my money chasing rappers and athletes all over New York to Miami to LA trying to figure out what Northeastern purposefully hid from me. And I know they knew because I used to work in the labs and I would see Harvard, MIT, and Northeastern on these projects. And they indoctrinate the kids at Harvard to make these, so I know Northeastern knew. You can't tell me they don't know. I know they knew. They were doing projects in concert. I was one of the work study kids in the lab doing it with them. This is why this will have not just an effect academically, economically, but socially. It'll reinvent the choices that young kids make. Rap music won't have such a hold on them. The rappers and athletes won't be so impressive to them anymore. Because these people that come up with these disruptors, they're the owner of the basketball team. They're the owner of the company. So if you're a parent and you want to give your kid an alternative to hanging out in gangs and violence and stupidity, then you go to your public schools and you sit in on the PTA meetings and you force your principal to introduce this to your kids. Because the bad side of this, the bad news, that's the good news. The bad news is that these people who've made disruptors like TikTok, Amazon, Uber, Netflix, Tesla, they are now in Donald Trump's court with their billions. And they are angry nerds. And they are going to exterminate your kids. They're going to subjugate them. They're going to incarcerate them using relationships. The DMV is going to be connected to Tesla, and then the police department. So once your license is suspended, ding, 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 your Tesla, your electrical car is going to drive you right to the jail. The only way that you can defend yourself when these disruptors take their sights on you is to disrupt the disruptor. So you have to do this. We have to do this. All right? We are in a technology war. And the only way to win this war is to fight. And right now, the black community is not prepared. The black community is literally a sitting duck. We're walking around acting like this is not going to happen, like an atomic bomb has just been launched at us, and we're just sitting there waiting for it to land. The only way you can defend yourself is to learn how to do this. So I urge you, if you're a parent, and I'm the only tech ed company out here telling black and Latin children what they are. I'm the only one. The only one. Why do you think that is? Because nobody wants black and Latin children to have this kind of technology. That is dangerous. That is the end of white supremacy. The choice is yours.